Hey everybody, I know it's not been a week. So, and I'm not at school, I'm here at my house. In case you were wondering the change of environment. My lighting here is definitely not as good as at the studio. Well, especially, not as good as in my makeup room. I mean, it's fantastic lighting. But I'm at home and there are a couple of things that, so I guess I should tell you why I'm doing this a week early. So if you watched the last video, you know that I was not in a good place. It was not a good week. I'm feeling better today, but that doesn't change the fact that the week happened the way it did. But anyway, something that did happen is I think it was Friday night. I got home after a week had come to an end, and I had seen some auditions. And I think I told you guys about the auditions. I can't remember when I made the video. I think I made it that night, yeah. But anyway, so I had seen some auditions. They were good, and then did this all happen? It all happened. It must have happened Friday. It had to have happened Friday because I was out all night last night. Anyway, so I was packing everything up on my way home, got to my house. I was just about to turn off the car, and I get a call from Amber, my sister in San Francisco. And started talking to her, and it's always fun. Like, I was missing them anyway, so I got to talk to her and tell her congratulations to her ears. I think not quite to her face because I'm not there. So I had to tell her congratulations again, and that was cool. And then we talked about her news, and we talked about my week, and I told her it was a crappy week, and kind of just unpacked all of that. And she was really cool and listened, and we just kind of chatted back and forth. And eventually I said, but I mean, I saw some auditions, and the week ended pretty well, and ended on a high note, and I'm feeling better a little bit. Like, I definitely was not in the same place mentally as I was, like, towards the end of the week. I think it was on Thursday night. Well, actually even Friday, up until I made the video. Really, I wasn't feeling all that hot. But anyway, then the auditions happened, and I heard some really good voices, and I don't know, I just started feeling a little bit better about the play and things coming together and stuff. But I still, anyway, and I was telling Amber this, and she goes, maybe you ought to make an addendum, like a video addendum, so like you unload and unpack some things, and then if you time passes and you get to a place where you're able to kind of see it more clearly or whatever, you can add a video addendum. And I thought that's kind of a cool idea. So at first I thought I was just going to make an addendum today, keep it nice and short, and just kind of say, I mean, I'm doing better, but then I started thinking about a bunch of other things that I wanted to kind of talk about, and it was really starting to turn into less of an addendum on its own and more of a chance for me to kind of hit the things I haven't hit yet that I think I needed to hit. So in short, I'm just going to make another video. I don't think this one will be nearly as long, and I am trying to keep them, under 30 minutes. Like, I'd like to keep all my videos at around the 20 to 15 minute range, which I've already said. But anyway, and I've said before that they're going to be like completely unscripted, or at least mostly unscripted, and they are. But I made some notes, so I decided that rather than stop and edit and go back and say stuff, I'm just going to try to keep myself on track by checking off my list. So I talked about the addendum. It's a good idea. I think I'll have to mull that over some more, because I'm sure there's going to be some times when I'm like really in the heat of the moment and the throes of things, and I kind of make things out to be worse than they are. And so when I've had time to cool off and kind of think about it, it's probably good to have that as an option to make some addendums. So expect some really small, short addendum videos to possibly happen. Don't know when, but not today. Okay, so there was something that I really kind of wanted to hit and just totally spaced it, and that was as part of this last week's video. And I don't want to go into too deep a dive on it, just because it has less to do with less to do with school and like life in general, and more to do with um, like deeply societal, political issues, I guess. So for those of you who know me really well, especially if you follow me on like my Facebook, or if you pay attention to my Facebook feed, you'll know that I post an awful lot of videos from TYT, the Young Turks. I do watch them on a regular basis. Ooh, focus. So I do watch them on a regular basis. I found these guys totally kind of at random. I think I was just looking through YouTube and found them one day and got really into a lot of their videos. So then I started looking at their website and decided to become a member of their network and a contributor. And so now I have a membership and I can watch their shows anytime I want. They have a ton of shows. They're really cool. But anyway, and I generally, most of the time, I agree with the kind of stuff they say, but every now and again, I think I think there's some things that we don't agree on sometimes, but then I also think sometimes, just like I think a lot of people do unknowingly, I think people, they take it a little too far. And let me explain. So I am a firm believer that anytime you generalize something, you're wrong. You're just wrong. You cannot generalize, especially when it comes to individuals and the way they behave and their beliefs and how they feel about things. Anything that you couldn't possibly have an insight into every single person out there, if you generalize and make a general statement, you're wrong. So let me kind of specify. So, and this is not the only time they've done this, but this one really kind of, I felt like, I've heard it enough times that I really need to kind of hit it and address it. So earlier on this week, they were talking about somehow the topic turned to religions and religious conservatism. And of course, anytime you think religion and conservatives, well, not anytime, but a lot of times when especially the media thinks religions and conservatives, there's like 2 or 3 organizations that come to mind, and inevitably one of them's always Mormons. So, and Jank and I can't remember who was talking, were having a conversation about how horrible Mormons are to LGBT people. And I just kind of wanted to stop them and say, look, you can't say that. Okay? You can't say that, because I know for a fact, in fact, I know a lot of Mormons, a lot of Mormons who are very, very pro LGBT, because they're their sons and they're their daughters, or they're their husbands or wives or aunts, uncles, cousins, family members, friends, and they love them, and they are anti the church's policies that are anti their friends. So just because a person is Mormon does not make them a bigot. It does not make them homophobic. It does not make them transphobic. It does not make them conservative. Just because a person is a Mormon, it doesn't make them anything other than a member of a church, not a sect, not a cult, a church, 10 million members. And I know there's those of you who have left the Mormon church who I know personally who are going to disagree with me, but I'm sorry. They're not a cult. All of you all were able to walk away from it. I can walk away from it if I want. And no, not all the time, if you walk away, are you ostracized from the community. I know lots of people who have walked away from it who still, their family members are still kind to them. Their neighbors are still kind to them. In fact, a lot of them even agree with them. Okay? So does that mean that I can say a majority of Mormons are that way? No. But does that also mean I can say a majority of Mormons are the other way? No. I can't, because no one's done that research, period. No one has. You can take a segment of the population, and you can pull that segment of the population. And the Young Turks should know this as well as anybody else, and anybody who's worked in any kinds of rights organization, Equality Utah, all the places that I've worked, you should know polls mean squat, basically. Like, there are organizations out there who are really trying hard to make polls be totally representative of the population, but inevitably they either lack the data to be completely representative, or they have a known bias because they want to be biased, or they have an innate bias that may not even know they have. Okay, so until we have a way to absolutely get exact numbers across the board, you can never say all Mormons are this way, or all Christians are this way, or all conservatives think like this, or all Republicans think like this. That was the other thing they got on. Because I know lots of Republicans. And in fact, I would hazard a guess. And I know it's hard to believe right now because you know who I'm talking about, because the guy who's occupying the White House and his very vocal followers make it seem like they're the only Republicans out there, but they're not. And I'll bet you a lot of money that they are like, okay, I'll bet you a year's salary of my salary that they're not even representative of the majority of Republicans. His base are crazy. Okay. His base are psycho, period. And his base are stupid. And that's not even a minor majority of the Republicans I know. Okay? All right. Or the Mormons that I know. So here's the thing. I'm a Mormon. I'm trans. And I go to church as often as I can. Sometimes I don't go to church because I'm busy at the school, or sometimes maybe I just feel tired that day and I stay at home. I don't feel guilty about that at all. Or sometimes I just don't feel like going because I don't know. I don't feel like going. But I don't feel like I have to go. I feel like it's awesome to have that option. And I feel like sometimes I go and I get spiritually recharged and rejuvenated. But yes, I'm a believer. That does not make me a bigot. That does not make me homophobic. It certainly doesn't make me transphobic. It doesn't make me conservative, and it doesn't make me a wacko. So yeah, I take issue with whoever it is, whether it's Republican pundits or mainstream news outlets, or commentators, mainstream commentators, or right wing, left wing, right wing. I don't care. I take issue with any of you ever pointing a finger at the screen or talking to the screen and trying to talk in generalities, because you're wrong. You're just wrong. The same thing goes for the other way, for Republicans to look at the screen and say all Democrats are this way, or for Christian people or Mormons or whatever to look at the screen and say all homosexuals are this way, or all trans people are this way, or all. And if you find yourself doing that, you need to take a step back, because you're wrong. Plain and simple. Okay, so yeah, so don't generalize. By the same token, let me say this. I do think that a lot of Christians, and I mean not the organizations, mind you, not the organizations. So yeah, okay. For example, I'm Mormon. I go to church every Sunday I can. I believe in God, and I believe in a power, not just a power. I believe in spiritual beings, perfected beings. But I believe, I don't want to go too far into my theology. I'll do that for another video, but suffice it to say that I believe, okay? And I believe that there is something after this life, and I believe that I'm going to live again, and that I can be perfected and all this other stuff. But I don't believe that my transness has anything to do with that. I don't think my transness will keep me out of heaven. I don't believe that my love for my fellow LGBT members will keep me out of heaven. I don't even believe that if I was a lesbian or gay, I would be kept out of heaven. I don't believe that if I'm liberal, I'll be kept out of heaven. I don't believe that if I'm Republican, I'll be kept out of heaven. Okay? Enough? But by the same token, I do not agree with the church, capital C-H church, right? The organization. There's a lot of things that I know some of the membership out there, some of the membership out there might say, oh, blasphemy. But I don't care. I don't care what you think. It's right. Okay? There's certain members in the church organization who are bigots and who are misogynistic and who are transphobic and homophobic, and they need to step away. 100%. And if they won't step away, then we as a people need to step away from them. Let me give you an example of how that might happen. I do think that Mormons, and now I'm talking specifically about my people, Mormons, I do think that sometimes we deserve the label they place on us of being, conservative, transphobic, homophobic, whatever, because we don't stand up and prove them otherwise. And I know that's a scary thing. It's a scary thing to be confrontational. It's scary to pipe up in a Sunday school class or in a sacrament meeting and be very vocal about how wrong someone is because you're afraid of what others might think of you, or if it'll turn ugly or whatever. But I'm going to tell you, you have to. Okay? Somehow, it doesn't need to be vocal. You don't need to stand up and say, you are wrong and you are a jerk. You think of stronger words. You don't have to do that. You know what I did the other day? My daughter was down. We were in a Sunday school class, and the lesson just had barely started. And the Sunday school teacher was talking about some kind of rituals and ceremonies that are conducted that have no meaning or something like that, no deeper meaning. And he asked the question of the class, so what rituals or ceremonies do we participate now in the church that have sometimes have no meaning? And someone eventually piped up with marriage. Marriage can sometimes be meaningless. And the teacher immediately turned around and said, yeah, like marriage between a man and a man, or marriage between a woman and a woman. And I got up in that instant, grabbed my bags, and walked out of the room. That's all I did. I didn't need to yell or scream or raise my voice or even raise my hand or even make any kind of noise or draw any attention to myself other than the fact that I stood up and I walked out. Now I want you to think how powerful that could have been if not just me, but everyone in that room, as soon as he said those words, had gotten up and in unison walked out. No blood was shed. No scars from the encounter. You didn't have to worry about, will I say the right words? You just get up and you walk out. That's that easy. If somebody is saying or doing something that, kind of defines you as part of them, like, let's go beyond Mormons. If you're in a pack of Republican conservatives or something and somebody starts spouting off about abortions or the poor or immigrants or immigration or trans, gay, lesbian, anything that you don't agree with, walk away. You don't even have to say, I don't agree with you, I'm done, goodbye. Just turn around and walk away. Walk. And if you're all on the street together, just walk a different way. Head down the other side of the street, or head back to your car, whatever. Just walk away. If people like that are faced with every time they bring that up, that people they know who they thought were their friends or whatever walk away from them, pretty soon they'll stop bringing that up. they'll understand that it's not okay. Same thing goes for religious people, um, politicians, or not politicians, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, Tea Party, whatever. I don't care who you are. If you hear something or see something that you disagree with, don't just say, "Oh well, I'll let that fly because they might do something else that's better, or because we have the same basic ideology." That doesn't matter anymore. Gone are the days when you could, well, they shouldn't have existed in the first place, but definitely gone are the days when you used to be able to just kind of sit on the sidelines and go, well, at least if I get like one of my, one of the things that I'm really fighting for, I'm okay with all the other stuff. Because we're all connected now. And a lot of these people that you are in danger of either offending or like being responsible for their rights being taken away of, or even worse, their lives. They can't afford to have you sit by and just, hide in the shadows anymore. Gone are those days. You have to stand up. And you don't have to be confrontational. You just have to take away the power that they feel when they feel that they have a following, right? When they feel like they're part of a bigger group, they get brave, they get overconfident in their bigotry or in the misogyny or in their transphobic, homophobic, whatever rhetoric. They feel more confident because they have all these people around them. But if all those people were to say, no, we're done, we out, and they walk away, and all of a sudden they're left with maybe 2 or 3 or even one of them, they're going to shut up pretty fast. Okay? So, I love you, TYT. I love you, Jank. I love you, Anna. I love all you guys, but you can't generalize. I'm sorry. Because when you generalize, you include me in that generalization. Because when you said all Mormons are transphobic, homophobic, bigoted, misogynistic, backwards cultists, I'm a Mormon. And I'm not any of those things. Okay? And the sooner we get away from doing that, the sooner we'll win more people over. Because when Mormons hear that come out of people, they go, well, I don't know why I should even try, because they already feel like I'm this way. So, yeah, I'm not that way, but I'm not gonna listen to them anymore. That's what they do. They tune you out. And by God, I can't afford to have people I know, and you can't afford to have anybody tune you guys out. If we want to win, and we need to win, and we want to promote these policies, we need to embrace all people, because every single organization out there, and I guess this is going to be horrible, but I would guess that even some of those really horribly bad organizations, like the white supremacist organizations, stuff like that, they might have some good people in their organizations. And that's not to agree with the jackass in office. I'm not saying there are good people on both sides of the whole Charlottesville thing. What I'm saying is that there might be people deep in those organizations who got there not because they really believed in it, but because they needed some kind of club to belong to, because they felt like they didn't belong anywhere. And eventually, when they see the power that we enable them with to walk away from that, because we're ready to embrace them, because we're ready to take them in and say, it's okay, you can come this way, I'll help you. You can leave that group because I've got another stronger one over here for you. And you can be a part of us. It's way more powerful, and we'll get them. It's happening. I've seen it happen. There's TED Talks, and there's interviews with previously horribly bad white racist supremacist people who have left that organization, have gone on to change and, you know, awaken themselves to other possibilities. So it's possible. Okay. All right. Whew. Where am I at? Oh my God. I'm already at. Jeez. Okay. Dang it. I just talked for too long. Okay. I'm going to rush through the last one. God damn it. That was the crux of kind of what I wanted to throw in there anyway. Please don't generalize. It doesn't help. It doesn't do any good. And there's more power when we don't. Okay. Coming up, I had spoken to one of my cohorts at East Hollywood High, Thomas. His last name is Knighton. It's kind of wild because like my main cohort that I had up at East Hollywood High, or not East Hollywood, Highland Junior High was John Thomas. So I called him Thomas, and then I called Thomas Thomas because his first name's Thomas. Anyway, it's kind of weird. But Thomas is a history teacher at East Hollywood High, and I was talking to him a couple of days ago about, you know, how I may have said this in the other video. Anyway, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I think I did, actually. If I didn't, I'm just going to reiterate. We're going to do a little bit of joining on a thing. He's going to join me, and we're going to do a couple of unscripted still video things where we talk about issues, and then he helps keep me in line with the history. So, okay. All right. So coming up, I was looking at the calendar today, and my surgery is coming. So I can't get to my calendar. Why can't I get to my calendar? So today is here it is. Okay. So today is the 1st, and so not this Thursday, but next Thursday I will be flying out to Texas. I will be going in, that'll be the 12th, so Friday will be the 13th, Saturday will be the 14th, Sunday, 1 week from today, 2 weeks from today, sorry, 2 weeks from today, I will be going into the hospital and going under and having surgery, and some hours later, I will be done, and on the next day, which would be the 16th, so 2 weeks from tomorrow, I will wake up, and it will be a new birthday for me. So that's my second birthday. I'm counting that as my second birthday. And 1 year from that date, so next year on September 16th, we'll have a 1-year-old birthday party. We'll have a nice cupcake with a candle in it. But in the meantime, I'm going to kind of chronicle this. So I'll make some videos as I prep. I'll tell you right now, I'm excited. I'm stressed out just because of everything that needs to get done, but I am super excited. Can't wait to go. Worried about the classes and if they're going to get everything done and who's going to take over for me and if they're going to be able to teach them what I need them to teach. But I am overall super excited to be going, and I can't wait to fill you all in as I go. So I'll be making multiple videos, be splashing them all over the YouTube. So tune in if you can, tune in if you want. One last thing, I've been itching, and probably quite a while I've been itching to open up my deck of Scarlets. So, and I've been waiting because I was going to do it with the kids, but now I'm just kind of like, we just kind of got to do it because I'm running out of time, and I don't think I'll ever have a time when I'm at the school and we can just sit down and do it. So I'm going to open it on my own here. Oh my gosh, I should have prepped and had a knife ready because this is trying to use the key. Okay, so this is my deck of Scarlet. It's my makeup subscription that comes every month. And of course, when you open it, I'm going to put the card away, open it. You always get like the blank, nothing in there because there's this little thing covering it up. So this is a brand new palette. Can't wait to take. Ooh, I like the picture. Oh, and they sent me an extra little something. Every now and again, they send you a little something more than just the makeup. But let's take a quick look. Actually, let's take a look at this first. So in addition to the palette, they sent me this, which is, I don't know what this is. What is this? This is a all-over face gloss. Oh, look at that. It's like a gloss for your lips, but instead of for your lips, it's for your face. So I don't know if you can see that, but whoops. Kind of makes it, let's see, I'll put it over here. Kind of makes it shiny. That's cool. Ooh, it feels nice. Very silky. It doesn't really got much of a color to it. It's kind of pearlescent, but it's mostly just I think it just makes your face kind of smooth and shiny. It's kind of cool. I can't wait to try that. That's awesome. And then onto the palette, and I really love these. Of course, they're usually by some YouTube celebrity or artist, but I really like the cover of that one. It's a very cool picture. This says, so of course, says Deck of Scarlet on the outside. And then, ooh, cool. They've got the same picture on the inside. I don't think they've done that before. That's really nice. I like the pictures on the inside. So here we go. Palette. Ooh, wow. So there's the colors. And hopefully you can see that. My lighting in here is so bad. It looks like there's like a purpley one called Atlantis and a kind of a bluish green called Siren. Of course, there's like a pale white one, Sandcastle, Sea Glow, and Solar. Ooh, and, oh no, they've done that. That's the same. I thought that maybe they had stuck the cover thing down, but those are really pretty. And then over here are usually, now that I've got the hang of it, over here are the lip colors, over here on this side. And those are seashell there is that kind of a pinkish coral one. And then down there's like a really deep navy bluish thing, one called Abyss. So I really like the names. Atlantis, Sandcastle, Seashell. Very, very ocean, which suits me. I love the ocean. So I'm excited. So that's the newest palette. I know I'm kind of rushing through the unboxing, but I took so much time with the other stuff and I'm already at 32 minutes. So half an hour again. I don't know. I'll get the hang of it. I won't be so apt to rant on, but I did think that's important. It's important to make that distinction. I don't even know. TYT probably has, I'm sure they have no idea my channel exists. And who knows if they'll ever hear this, but if they ever do, I just wanted to be able to say that. Like, I love those guys, but they got it wrong. Anyway, this, oh, cool. Okay, so this palette is Okela. Okela. Not sure they said that. Okela. Guys, I'm super duper excited to share this extremely versatile aqua-themed palette with you. Got it right on. My horoscope sign is Aquarius. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. I love that song, by the way. Its Latin name means water carrier, and this palette is close to my heart because it's aquatic. Okay. Inspired by the ocean and beautiful lagoons, filled with stunning blue shades, Deck of Scarlet and I have brought you something to inspire new creative looks that you have never tried before. Go on, dive in. Love. Okay la. XXX. Cool. I'm excited. I'm excited to give it a try. I like it. I like it a lot. And they always have like a tutorial with the YouTube video personality, kind of walking you through some looks. And I haven't really tried any of the YouTube tutorials yet, but maybe this is the time I try it with this particular palette. So there you have it. I'm at home now and I've got to do lots of work. I've got one more day. We're on a 3-day weekend. Tomorrow's Monday, but I was hoping to get to the school and do some work. So I'm going to put in grades tonight, or finish putting in grades tonight. Stay up for a little while, maybe watch something on TV, and then I'll try to go to bed early. But okay, thanks for tuning in again. I'll try to make them not this long all the time. Okay. All right. Thanks. Sorry, my daughter will think that was weird. Bye.